Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson. This is funny. This is genuinely funny. Frank Lampard has just been announced as temporary manager, caretaker manager until the end of the season. The official Chelsea statement is Chelsea FC has announced Frank Lampard has been named as caretaker manager until the end of the season. I don't even know if he sees the season out. I think he could get the bullet in the middle of the season, you know. Anyway, this move marks a return to Stamford Bridge, this is what they're saying, not what I'm saying, who enjoyed an illustrious playing career with the Blues, winning the Premier League on 3 occasions and UEFA Champions League in Munich. He managed the club for 84 games, including guiding us to an FA Cup final. Are you forgetting that whole part where you sacked him? Because that's a kind of key thing, isn't it? He got the bullet so you could bring an actual manager in, and now he's been sitting on his arse after getting binned by another team. You've decided, hey, let's bring him in. Frank Lampard, by some distance, had the worst record in the Premier League of any Chelsea manager. 52%. Now, what planet did Todd... Do you know what? I like Todd Boehly because he's mental, clearly. And he's bringing such a flavour to what's going on with the Premier League. Now, Graham Potter's record was actually worse than Frank Lampard's, which highlights just how poor a job he was doing. In 31 games, he lost 11 of them, drew 8, only won 12, 38.7%. But Frank Lampard's came in between 2 pretty good ones with the same squads. So I can understand if they're looking at it purely statistically. Oh yeah, I guess Lampard was better, kinda, than at least Potter. But then he went to Everton and lost 24 games in 44. How does he improve this Chelsea side? How? How does he improve this Chelsea side whatsoever? Farquhan says Lampard played Tammy at defensive midfield. Oh, God. James says, still can't wrap my head around is why Tuchel was sacked. Yep. Knight says, Boehly, it will be a new Chelsea with a long-term project. 4 managers in 8 months. Oh, my God, yeah. Wow. IR says Todd Boehly is what the Glazers would do if they had someone else's money to spend. Farquhan says, have I seen the links to Ruben Neves? We'll talk about that in a different video. This one is the Laugh at Lampard video. So let's continue to do that. I've just lost my place. Where was we? So, yeah, they're completely ignoring the fact that he's already been manager once and was already given the bullet once for not being good enough. Yeah, Lampard was a good midfielder in his day. No 2 ways around it, yeah. But I don't understand. I don't understand why you would bring him back. In his first job at Derby, he took them from 6th to 6th. Win ratio of 41.2%. It was better than what Wayne Rooney had, but he had players on loan and there was financial restrictions on what Wayne Rooney could do. Keeping the job that Wayne Rooney did with Derby was remarkable, whereas the job that Lampard did with Derby wasn't remarkable. He then got the Chelsea job, 1.53 points per game, which was the lowest of any manager in Abramovich's ownership. Did have a transfer ban, but they knew that, and they'd already managed to sign in a couple of players around that, knowing it was coming. Did take them to an FA Cup final where they lost to Arteta in his first season. And then he was replaced by Tuchel, and then when he was sacked, Tuchel went on to win the Champions League with that squad. Then he went to Everton, which there's only one permanent manager who's had a worse win percentage with Everton. And that was a guy called Mike Walker. I don't even remember them having in 1994. Everton were in 19th when he was sacked. They had 15 points from 20 games. So, yeah, we're talking about a real football mastermind here. Chelsea squad right now, they spent 600 million in January and last summer, and they've got the weirdest blend of a squad ever. They're currently sitting 11th. Could potentially end up with some sort of European football if they go on a run towards the end of the season. Don't see that happening. They are still in the Champions League. They have got Real Madrid coming up, though, so they won't be in the Champions League for very long. Chelsea surely could have gone and got Nagelsmann. I know there's some sort of weird contract situation going on with Nagelsmann and Bayern Munich. Is that not who they're targeting? Surely it is. Surely they've not looked at some of the available managers and gone, no, Lampard, that's what we need. Can Lampard get some good vibes? This is hilarious, right? Because Solskjaer was accused of being all vibes and no tactics when actually he had tactics. But Lampard is pure vibes. I've never seen a more defensively open football team. Chelsea really could go a lot further backwards under Lampard now, following what's happened with Potter. Boehly and Egbali, who's the other guy that owns them, have said, we're delighted to welcome Frank back to Stamford Bridge. Premier League Hall of Famer and a legend at this club. Not as a manager, though. As we continue our thorough and exhaustive process. Did you have a thorough and exhaustive process to appoint Graham Potter and then get rid of him 6-7 months afterwards? Then what was the point in your thorough and exhaustive process, really? Like, you get rid of Thomas Tuchel, who is proven, and you bring in Graham Potter, who wasn't. When you bring in someone like that, you have to give them time. You can't just be like, that didn't work, sling it. Graham Potter did what he did by having time. And I know there's less time given at the top, but honestly, he's not even had a pre-season with the team. Anyway, he says, we want to provide the club and the fans with a clear and stable plan for the remainder of the season. We want to give ourselves every chance of success, and Frank has all the characteristics and quality we need to drive us over the finish line. We have an important game against Wolves on Saturday, and then we will turn our attention to the Champions League in quarterfinal in Madrid next week. We're all going to give Frank our full backing as we aim to get the best possible outcome for our remaining games. You might get battered in Madrid. They smell that blood. They smell that weakness. They smell that absolute, complete and utter fucking lack of defensive management that Lampard has got. And we'll go, oh yeah, we're going to fucking smash these. Jesus. Has Ollie got in job offers since leaving United? Don't know. It's madness, isn't it, how Lampard is back in the mix already. And like Steven Gerrard was being linked with the England job. Just absolutely nuts. David Beale, does Lampard keep any of Potter's staff though? He may just be the figurehead of what's been a pretty decent defence this year. I don't know enough on that about what staff have stayed and gone. And yeah, I absolutely do believe that Potter did have them defensively solid. His problem was scoring of goals. I think Lampard actually displayed some decent patterns, certainly going forward. But defensively, I've never seen a more open team in my life. And in a very transitional league, the way the Premier League is, with fast transitions, fast aggressive transitions, I think Chelsea might get absolutely chewed up. It might get chewed up. Court says the Lampard memes are quality. We've got another 2 months of them, right, at least. Yeah, 2 full months of them. Daniel says Real just beat Barcelona. Yeah, 4-0. Absolutely dunked all over them. Benzema masterclass. It's going to be absolutely hilarious what happens to Chelsea in Madrid. I'm sure of it. James says, how did Chelsea spend 600 million and still not have a striker? See, these are the big questions, aren't they? They signed about 1,000 number 10s. I don't understand it. I don't understand it in the slightest. I really don't. IR says Benzema's doing all that while fasting. He's different, isn't he? He's different. Archik says Chelsea owners are a joke. Not sure what they are smoking. Knight says cannot wait to see Mount straight in the starting lineup. John says Todd saw Pep win the league with no striker and thought, watch this, I'll win it with only attacking midfielders. Yeah, but all over the pitch. Like, I'm pretty sure the other day they had a game where they had 6 attacking midfielders as their forward 6 players. And I'm just like, you need a little bit of balance, mate. Is there any fear that our new owners might do a Todd Boehly and fuck things up even more than they are now? It's entirely possible. You can't say it's not, because it's entirely possible. Yvonne says, still reckon Maguire would get rinsed in a local five-a-side at Medlock Astro on a Thursday night. I think he might get more rinsed. Some Power League players at Power League, the agility, the lateral movement is obscene. And I know Premier League players, when they come down, do generally look otherworldly. Maguire would look very good at that level, but I think he would still get caught with stuff because he don't fucking scan. Will I do a video on Amir Ibrahimov? Yes, probably. So his brother's an MMA fighter. They're a very athletically talented family. His brother's an absolute killer of an MMA fighter, and Amir is a serious footballer as well. So yes, we're looking at doing some videos on the academy pretty soon. So stay tuned for those. Amaya says, I think this window is the best to get 60 million for Maguire to Chelsea. Surely even Chelsea aren't that mad. Surely. Red says, Arsenal bottling the league begins this weekend. Oh, God. We might order the sausage rolls if that happens. I'm not 100% sure. I think they're going to do it, me now, you know. I really do think they're going to do. Theo says, who breaks into the team, Shea Lacey or Amir? Don't know. Need a lot of luck. Need a hell of a lot of luck. And you got to take the chance when it comes to you. Mithril says, you are such salty haters, it's tragic. Are we talking about Arsenal here? Of course we're salty. But meanwhile, you're here watching a United fan talking about Chelsea and going on about Arsenal. Interesting. Furquan says, does top four matter if we win the Europa League? I still think it matters, yeah, because you want to prove that you're good enough to be in there on the qualification. It's about where you are as a team, not just the tick in the box and getting it done like that. Jake says, I remember saying if Chelsea get a good manager, this team could do bits, and that's exactly what they did when they got Tuchel. Can't believe they went back with him. It's insane, isn't it? We need Rio's opinion on his boys' return to management. Do we? Knights, what's my opinion on Shaw moving into the pivot versus Brentford like Stones did for City? Interesting tactical tweak that Timber could do from right back too. I don't think it's as straightforward and easy as people think it is of moving into the six from fullback. I think there's a hell of a lot goes on as a six, certainly at Premier League level, that it isn't that easy to just do. I reckon you've got to take a little bit more to it than that. Red says, imagine they sign Frank on a permanent deal if he does all right. I don't think there's any danger of that, though. I don't think he's going to do all right. And if he does, it'll be a fluke. It won't be consistent. AAO says, now I can ask Rio how his mate's doing. I can't wait for Monday. I mean, here's the thing. There's a good chance that they'll probably beat Wolves, because Wolves are fucking horrible. But yeah, I would like us to see that and to have the opportunity to drill him on Monday. Ben says, if we had a choice to sign one in the summer, Oceanman Kane, Sesko Ferguson or Hoyland, who am I picking? I don't know, because it's not just that straightforward, is it? If I only get one, maybe Kane. If we're looking at multiple, or maybe Oceanman. I don't know. I can't answer that. Yvonne says, reckon Chelsea have only got Lampard in to keep Mount quiet, to be honest. Or to keep Mount, to be honest. Dave says, Frimpong will do bits for Anthony. Not a strong defending, but with the right other signings will compensate for that. Gucci says, we shouldn't gloat too much. Our form ain't great. Could drop points to Everton. We could drop points to Everton. I think Everton's a very tricky game. Very, very tricky game. But we've been pretty good at home, so I'm expecting us to go and do that. Andrew says, I need Lampard to win a few games so Rio can call it for him to get the job. I want to hear them sing Super Frank at the wheel. Did I hear how Jamie Redknapp said Frank has unfinished business at Chelsea? Does he really have unfinished business, or was he terrible? And his cousin. Probably not going to get unbiased opinion from him there, I don't think. Anyways, cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.